Hey everybody, how's it going? Brbteabreak here today with a guide for Abigail in Return. Abigail is a melee mage who has some really good movement options, and his AoE damage potential is kind of insane. She plays like a bruiser mage who has the ability to go toe to toe with the entire cast. She has great AoE damage potential, and some really good bursts also, while being incredibly tanky with shields from your abilities. And because she does so much AoE damage all the time, she's a great candidate for omni-7 items and traits. I'd recommend Abigail for people looking to pick up a melee character who has a higher skill count than most characters, and you really want to just go wild in the enemy team. I think she's actually quite strong right now, and I think she has huge potential as a character, but she does have this weird place in the meta currently. Not tanky enough to be an actual tank, not enough burst to be an actual burst assassin, and doesn't do enough sustained damage either to be a sustained damage role. In saying that, they didn't nerf her heavily at launch. They nerfed her about 50% plus on her damage on her Q and her passive. Don't be surprised if there's some minor buffs in the future for her. One thing she does really well is destroy mages. Her ability to move in and out of fights is so powerful, but also doing really good consistent damage and shielding herself at the same time. Means characters like Eva, Adina, and Hayes can really struggle fighting you. In saying that, characters who do sustained damage such as Hart, Luke, Yanwu, or Aya, they really beat you up and you don't have much of an answer. You don't do enough burst damage to finish them off, nor do enough sustained damage to actually beat them in a long fight. Abigail's at her best when she can move around and dodge enemy attacks, meaning good against mages, not so good against actual auto attackers, but overall she can kind of do it all. For our build, we're looking to go as much amp as possible while also getting some CDR and tankiness. I have a few builds in the ID description itself, and they're all actually viable in different ways, but they will play slightly differently depending on how you want to play, with their own pros and cons. A general rule of thumb when upgrading the items though is actually the weapon is a very minor upgrade, and actually the last upgrade we'd actually get overall. In all the builds for the most part, Glacial Shoes will be your first upgrade option as it gives you the most increased AP, while also giving you movement speed. And from there, just kind of grab what you get on the way. Persona is a great item early as it gives you a ton of damage bonus. And like Cabana, for example, can be very easy and cheap to upgrade early on. And even Mithril on your ring with your Tinderlost ring gives you a ton of CDR at a very easy price, and the more CDR we have, the more abilities we're casting, the more fun we're having, the more good times to be had. For my tactical skill, I'll be using Blink. It has such good options offensive and defensively. And at the same time, even though we have a Blink ourselves to engage, we actually have no escape tool. This gives us a great option to run away when we need to. For augments, Brbteabreak Bloodline is a no-brainer. It gives us tons of damage and omni-7 at the same time. If you don't know, omni-7 gives you lifesteal on auto attacks and your spells. And guess what we do? We do tons of sustained damage with our spells, therefore we become incredibly tanky, on top of the shielding, and we're healing, lots of good fun. We're also grabbing stopping power and Anima Reaper. We don't actually need spirit culling for this character, because even if she casts a billion abilities, it costs no mana at all, so there's no need to pick us up at all. For our secondary traits, we will be going Fortification, and with that, Embolden and Cavalcade. If you don't know, if you can pick Embolden due to the trait proccing, pick it every single time. It's such an overpowered trait, and Cavalcade is also incredibly powerful. These two are no-brainers in the blue fortification tree. For our skill order, we're going to be doing Ultimate, Q, W, Passive, and E. Your Ultimate is a no-brainer, grab it when you can. Your Q ability will be majority of your damage, and if you don't level this up, you hit like a wet noodle, so you want to max this first. Next ability to level up will be our W. Your W ability gives you a massive shield, which is important to stay in fights longer. The longer we're in fights, the more damage we're dealing. It also gives us the ability to use our E ability multiple times in a fight if we can get more Ws off. And we're going to do passive instead of E as our second last ability. The passive does pretty good damage, plus leaves defense reduction on the enemy. Leveling up the E, all we really get is more damage. The cooldown reduction is very minor, as when you're pressing this button, if we actually have a proc through our W or ultimate. Some general gameplay tips for the character: don't be afraid to walk in and out of fights. The range on your W and E are very high, and your auto attacks don't do a lot of damage anyway. Just, cast a couple abilities, walk away, come back in when you're ready to go, and with that you'll do tons of damage, plus have a shield, and just go crazy once again. Next, I'd avoid using your E ability unless you have a free reset with your W or your R procs. Only use it without those procs if it's going to secure a kill. Once you lose this reset in a team fight, you're going to lose a ton of momentum and movement options. This might be the biggest one for the character herself, is she has probably the weakest early game I've ever seen in Return. It is so rough. Make sure you get a couple levels before going into fights. She scales really well with levels, especially on her Q and her W ability, so don't really fight until day 2 starts before committing to anything major. Get levels early, kill lots of monsters, and when you actually get some levels on your abilities, then look to fight. And that's Abigail in Return. This is definitely a character that I want to return to in the future, especially when it comes to ranked. She has massive potential, and given more time and maybe some minor buffs, she can do really anything. My only gripe personally with her is that she's kind of slightly ping reliant, It makes it a bit harder for me personally to play the character, but that's not really an issue for most people in the world. But if this is your type of character, I highly recommend giving her a bash. She's tons of fun, and who doesn't want to use a scythe in a video game? If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or come to the Twitch stream on twitch.tv/Brbteabreak. We stream every single day trying to return. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like on the video, and maybe even subscribe to see more future content. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Okay, did I kill the entire enemy team? Possibly? That was a lot of buttons being pressed. All the enemies. But hey, works for me. Works for me. You have a life? Cool. I had a cross back there. Maybe I was gonna have spoon. Spoon soon. Is Mithril? Is it Mithril? Yes, he is. Give me 3 more CDR. 5 more CDR, sorry. I see a lot of CDR. My cross gun. It's got his bagpipes. What am I looking at? I can't tell if he did much damage in that team fight or not. No one here. You want like a bit of both. Without W, you don't do any E damage, and without E, or without E, you don't do, like, you don't threat. Mithril? I'm gonna damage on the ground? No way. Ice? Oh. Any more food slots? Any more slots in general? I need to drop some food, probably. I need ice, and then you get a tree of life. You get a hospital and a tree of life. Which shop that is. I have every traditional item ready, which is a little bit weird, to be fair. Oh, what a fucking song. Thank you for this request. It goes blood. Didn't buy blood though. There's actually not much more. It's only 13 more damage. Might not even worth getting, honestly. Oh, I need one of those ices. Oops. Yeah, there's more. It's 25 amp. It might be better. I get movement speed. The weapon sucks. Different weapon. Weapon's a scam. I'm missing ice, which is, you know, my fault. New character? What's up, stupid? Big dingus. New character, new me, new drops, new waifu, she's a scythe. Like, what else could you ask for, honestly? Reminds me to come. Ume? Okay, I got some kills again. I feel like that time I did less actual damage, but I did get the kills. So like, that's good. But half the time I was trying to like get the back line, but I was just like fucking around. It's just held forward. Into win? For the most part, yeah. But we're doing for the most part. Dude, mana's a meme. I literally don't even have any mana food. All spirit culling. And we are permanently just like, okay with mana. Battle hammer? I think people run bat these days. Scott. How does Scott speak? In my mind, I got a bit of New York. Hey, I'm walking here. Probably not the right voice, you know. Amazing. Wow. Powerful. Moving, some would say. I thought it was moving. What? No, I can't. I know she's sounding supposed, but I don't know how she sounds. That's what it actually sounds like. I've got my flash here. He'll do it. Like this, Nini? Yeah, Nini? What does that mean? Look at this mana regen. Why is it 13 per second? Actually, it's probably the item that I have. I have glaciers and shit. Can you work how this E works? But it's a circle. So I think you maybe get behind enemy somehow. Maybe. Here. I'm only holding a mega forward. Hey, why have a cooldown? Gee! Don't fart my sick plays, dude. Who just farted on my sick plays? Who just farted? Who just flatulated all over my play? Who was that? Juke! Dude, I was doing a sick play. You've ruined the clip now. I think a sick play put on like Potato Monster. Now I can't have someone to laugh at me. Got a drop? No problem. Drops are back on the menu, boys. Oh, someone took it? It's fine, man. He takes it. Did she replay? Dude, I'm not using I can't use replay for a Twitch clip. I'm gonna feature that Twitch clip and we're about to get 7 million views. Oh, we got the weapon anyway. Body armor, whatever. Well, you probably won't get much better than this when it comes to build, so take it or leave it. Currently, there are 3 boxes of purple near us. Yeah. You know, force core, it's that simple, really. Why have one when you can have 2? I'm not sure if we want to go full damage. We can get different helmet, for example, here. We could get like a blood helmet. How's the blood arm go? Here's the 40 CDR. We're only 2 over then. Oh, we're trying to get these bears. I want this marsh if I can get it. Cool.
So many jars.
Did they just play Korea? Literally no one's a player. No one cares in K-App a new character day. Too much. I can imagine having 200 MS how bad it'd be. I can imagine having 200 MS. That sounds so tough for you. You make meteorite water. You need to make it a stone. Good team, get those bears. I'm gonna make some water. Challenged? I'm being challenged. We're challenged every day with mortality. Get used to it. That's a pretty big shield. 500 shield currently. And currently I want 80 plus 20% of their current life.
A new area has been restricted. A family crypt. I have one of those myself.
The squad's here. This is not good. It's not so good now. Dude, I'm not OP enough. I wasn't paying attention. Sewer, get him! What's unfortunate. I wasn't paying attention to be fair what was happening in that big team fight. That was a mess. I also eat this guy randomly at the start. I thought we just popped them, but we couldn't just pop them. I don't really know how far behind or ahead we were. Probably equal. Unlucky. He calling you inters? Yeah, Sue was so aggressive. Like, hey, let's just pull wick before even knowing where anybody is. He didn't want the YouTube video to happen. Literally, they had... Oh, we had similar Marsh. That's kind of cringe by them. Even though we were way ahead on team kills.